Today I'm going to do a video about manipulation because somebody commented on one of my other videos and asked me to do it, so I'm doing it today. I think that it is quite an important topic though, to be honest, because manipulation is something that we fall victim to a lot of the time, and a lot of the time it can be very embarrassing and very confusing, and sometimes it can be as serious as getting money taken from us and stuff like that. So yeah, I'm just going to talk about that really. So the reason why we are so susceptible, however you say it, to manipulation is because we are very black and white people, and the way we communicate with each other and with neurotypical people is very straight down the line. It is what it is, and what we say is usually what it is. We say what we see, we say what we mean, we say what we feel. We probably say too much of those things, give people too much information. But and I don't mean all neurotypical people at all. There are, most people are nice people, but there are some people that are manipulative and are just out for themselves. And for people like us, we can be none the wiser to this and end up in a situation where we're taken advantage of. Because of that, we kind of assume that other people are going to be just as black and white and, this is how it is and stuff. But some people do have an agenda. They do have manipulative traits, and they do want to kind of play on the fact that you are a bit vulnerable. This could be for a number of reasons. This could be to get money out of you, just to manipulate you to their advantage in terms of, so that you do things for them and you've got no choice to, or you find it very difficult to say no. Because that's something that I've struggled with most of my life, saying no to people. Because they sometimes make you feel bad if you don't do something for them, whatever that thing is, or that it's your fault. So yeah, that's something we need to think about more, is the fact that not everybody is going to communicate the same as us, and we've got to be careful about who we trust. So when you first meet somebody, or you first start being friends with somebody, and you feel like something is a bit off maybe, or they are asking you for things, whether that be clothes, money, items, or just for you to do things for them that you don't really want to do, or you haven't got the time to do, and they're pressurising you into it, or acting like you should be doing that for them. That's a warning sign that this is a manipulative person, and you need to kind of stay away from them. Also, if you've heard things from other people about how this person is, if the person has treated other people unfairly, or manipulated other people, then that should also be a warning sign. This is something that I kind of use, not in like a bitchy, nasty way, but I just think, if it's happened to other people, it's going to happen to me. And especially, in the last few years, I've taught myself to be a bit more vigilant in this way, and it seems to have worked so far. For example, I had kind of, you could say, a bit of a messed up relationship before the relationship that I'm in now, and that just put me off men completely. I thought all men were going to be manipulative, nasty, liars, you know, just not worth my time and energy. So I kind of got a bit of a background check on my current boyfriend, Brad, because I was friends with his guitarist. And luckily, I got a really good reference from him. And he would have told me, you know, if there was anything dodgy or whatever. Because, you know, in my experience with guys, if a guy comes up to you and is nice to you and buys you drinks and stuff, that, before I met Brad, that would be an indication that he just wants to go home with you and then never speak to you again. And then he asked me to go out for dinner with him, and I just didn't believe him that he was gonna ever do something like take me out on a date, because I didn't think that guys took girls on dates anymore. So I was just like, yeah, whatever, you know. And then now, you know, because like I knew what kind of person he was from people that I spoke to and, you know, people that I trusted and stuff, that helped me kind of trust him a bit more. And, you know, now I know that he's like the loveliest person in the world. Like there's nothing dodgy about him at all. Like he is genuinely just a nice romantic person. So yeah, I mean, it's actually a problem for children and young people as well. And adults. Adults can be bullied as well, can't they? But, you know, bullying, because I remember at school looking back, and even like at college and stuff, people would be kind of egging me on to do things, or, you know, like winding me up and, you know, telling me stuff that isn't true, because they knew that I would believe it and I would go along with it and stuff. And this was before I knew that I had Asperger's, but obviously the other kids picked up on the fact that I wasn't like them, and I was a bit gullible in that, so I think they thought that it was funny. But I just thought that I was making friends, and people, you know, liked me. But and I think some people did like me, but the point I'm making is, you know, like people, particularly young people with Asperger's, probably don't realise when they're being bullied a lot of the time, unless they're like, you know, making really mean faces and being very aggressive and shouting and saying like, you know, cuss words and stuff. You know, it's not always recognisable. Another way we can fall victim to manipulation is financially. So, you know, people like salesmen and stuff like that, people, should I say, you know, spotting that we may be not as switched on as other people in some areas, or if we seem like overly trusting, which a lot of people with Asperger's are, then they will see that as a target to, you know, make you purchase more like add-on insurance-y things and shit that you don't need, and then you'll come out of the shop or wherever you are and you'll just be like, what have I spent all that money on? Like, that's crazy. But, you know, that's what happens. That's happened to me before. And I bet it's happened to a lot of other people before too. And another thing I've experienced as well is being taken advantage of financially, shall we say, by other people. So that means, you know, previous partners, friends, or people that you think are friends, and just people that you don't know very well but you kind of take pity on. So they might give you a bit of a sob story, oh, I haven't got any money for food, or, you know, I don't know, stuff like that. And then you being a nice person and also, you know, being a bit silly in the sense that you can't recognise that somebody is just asking you for money and there's probably nothing wrong, like, you know, and they're probably not going to give it you back. You'll give it them, and then they keep asking you and you keep giving it them, and it just becomes this never-ending cycle that's hard to get out of it. And then they start, you know, saying things to you and tapping into your insecurity and your good nature and, you know, and your vulnerability again, which makes you just carry on doing it. And, you know, but after a bit, whether you've got Asperger's or not, you're bound to think, well, you know, I'm being used here, you know, let's just nip this in the bud. So, like now, I will really think hard. If somebody is suggesting that they need to lend money off me, or they want me to give them money, or give them clothes, or just, you know, do things for them, I'll think, you know, how close am I to this person? Because I don't let a lot of people come in that close near me, I must say, these days. And, you know, can I trust them? Can other people trust them? Or have they got a record of being a bit useless and a bit, you know, I don't know, manipulative. One way I have found that works quite well in protecting yourself against manipulation is understanding the behaviour that manipulative people prey on, and then trying to adapt your behaviour, even though it is really fucking difficult, especially people like us, but it's doable. And then that makes them think that actually no, you are more switched on and you are in control and you're not going to take any shit off anybody. So the behaviours that these people prey on include, and this isn't an exhaustive list, this is just examples, naive behaviour. If you appear to not really know anything about anything and, you know, kind of relying on the other person to speak about whatever it is that you're speaking about, that suggests to them that you're naive, that you don't really know what you're on about, and they will use that against you. Another is lack of self-confidence or self-awareness, should I say. So I've noticed that the point in my life where I was being manipulated the most is where I was really unsure of myself, and I didn't have any self-esteem or anything, and I just wanted acceptance and you know, not necessarily to be liked by people, but, you know, like, yeah, just that kind of shitty place to be in. And, you know, that's the time when people were taking the piss with me the most. Whereas now, I feel like I am more confident in myself. I know who I am. I know what I'm capable of. I know my strengths and I know my weaknesses as well. You know, and I learn from my mistakes. So, you know, as it stands now, I don't feel like I am the type of person that will be easily manipulated. Submissive personality is another one. To be honest, I think I have got quite a submissive personality in relationships. I'm not sure about friendships. I think it's more balanced in my friendships, but definitely in romantic relationships I am kind of submissive. But, you know, that doesn't mean to say that everybody is going to take advantage of that. It's just that, you know, it's one of those things that people think, well, you know, because they are more submissive, then that means that they might do more stuff for me or whatever. So if you're too impressionable, this can be another one. So, you know, if you're easily impressed by you know, kind of shallow representations of people being nice, like celebrities that, I don't know, do bad things, but there's a cute picture of them with a puppy or something, like, you know, that's going to make people think, well, you know, if they're impressed by shallow, menial things, like, I don't know, like getting bought a bunch of flowers or something, then, you know, that's another way of, that's another possibility that they're going to be easily manipulated. Too trusting. This is a big one because, you know, if you, let's say, if somebody tells you to get in a car with them and you get in the car with them, which you should never do, obviously, unless you know them really well, then, you know, they might take that further and, take advantage of you in that situation. Lack of assertiveness. That's a big one. If you are displaying your inability to say no to people, then they are 110% going to take advantage of that, because they're going to think, well, you know, this person obviously, you know, will not say no. They will do anything. Let's take them for all they've got. And, you know, I'm still not very good at saying no to people, especially when I see that maybe they're having a hard time, or, you know, they need some help, or, you know, it is very difficult for me to turn around and say, actually, no, like, I haven't got the resources or time or whatever to do that, so you're going to have to do that yourself. Always, always, always try your best to gauge what kind of person they are, how long you've known them, if anybody else you know knows them. They're the main things that I use to protect myself from getting into a shitty situation with somebody.